Hello and welcome. I'm Wick and I will be reviewing and looking through the newest cards from the upcoming expansion for Legends of Runeterra, and that expansion is going to be called Fate's Voyage Onward, and it will be coming to us on September 13th, 2023. So obviously, first thing is off the bat, I mean, it looks like Neela. I haven't played League of Legends that much lately, never played this champion, but I know she's like a water whip wielding demon spirit associate. Like the thing on her hip is a little demon that makes her always smile or something. But it looks like this expansion is going to be obviously she's coming out, so that's pretty exciting. But let's get into these new cards. So here is the first set of cards. All right, we have Deluge, which is a 5-mana slow speed spell for Bilgewater. It looks like these are all Bilgewater cards, so I'm not sure if she's going to be Bilgewater or something else. But we have Deluge, which is a slow speed spell that says for the rest of the game, all of your elemental spells and swirly symbol skills deal extra damage. Okay, so we have right off the bat, we have two new things coming up. We have that little swirly thing, I don't know, but that, and then we have elemental skills. So I think let's go ahead and check out what elemental skills are. So it looks like we have a new card type, elementals. Many spells and play effects will receive the elemental type, increasing interactivity with cards being added in the Fate's Voyage expansion. All right, so it looks like, you know, it's just like subtypes. They're giving spells. I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think the way that they have utilized the class and tribal, or, you know, card type mechanic in Legends of Runeterra has always been really interesting. You know, they recently added all the animals for Nico, and it looks like they're adding elementals for Neela. And so that makes me feel like she might be a Runeterran champion rather than a Bilgewater champion. But we'll see. And I think that we have a list of all the cards that are now going to be getting, you know, different types of elements assigned to them. So obviously all the ice spells, all the water stuff. I think it's really cool that they're doing this. I've always been saying, well, not always, but I've said that they should add, you know, more of these tags to some of the spells. Like make Vile Feast Spider, you know what I'm saying? And then Nico can play Vile Feast. But I don't know, maybe that's a little too crazy. But it looks like a bunch of these existing spells will be assigned new element tags in the upcoming patch, which is really exciting, and the elementary skills. So I guess, like, let's go ahead and look back now on Deluge. So it's a slow speed spell that just buffs all of your elemental skills and spells to do 1 extra damage. 5 mana, slow, so it can be, the earliest that it's going to be played is on turn 3. The turn 3 do nothing, which is a very pivotal turn. I think it's really scary to do nothing on 3 like that. Your elemental spells and skills. I mean, hold on, let's check. Is Decimate? It doesn't look like Decimate's fire type. So it looks like there's actually no burn spells on this list. Lightning Rush. Okay, there's Lightning Rush. I don't really see Bellows Breath, maybe, yeah. I mean, okay, so when I look at Deluge now, and I think about, like, what are going to be doing more damage, I mean, obviously, like, Deluge buffs Annie, right? Because of Molten Shield or whatever, and Talia's Threaded Volley. I guess, I don't know, man. Like, what the heck is Crystalline Storm Raptor? I don't even know what that card is, dude. That's crazy. I don't know, man. It's a 5-mana do nothing. I don't really think that it's that great. I don't know. Maybe some of the other cards will make this a little bit better, but who knows? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna talk about Wizened Helmsman, which is a 7-mana 5/5 for Bilgewater, and it has an effect that says play. Manifest 2 different elemental spells you played this game. They cost 0 this round. Oh, that's really crazy. It is 7 mana, but I mean, it's a 7 mana. They cost 0. I mean, I feel like we're going to be jumping back and forth between these this screen, you know, just to kind of see what exists and what we could be getting to zero. I mean, look, like it straight up says 2 elemental spells, right? Like you get a free harsh winds, but it's only 0 mana this turn. Molten breath is kind of crazy. I mean, there are some that are like really cool that would cost 0. You know what I'm saying? Like I really wish Decimate was fire type. Is that just me? 0 mana Decimate? I don't know. I know. I'm just. I have to get my burn player moment in every. It's contractual at this point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I'm looking at the spells that you can get back from this, and I'm just like, all right, that's cool. I'm not really like super hyped about it. It's a turn 7 play, which is pretty slow. I don't really think that Wizened Helmsman will be like that prevalent. 7 mana 5/5 that gives you. I mean, the fact that you get to pick what spells you get back, you know what I'm saying? They do cost 0. It's not like it is only this turn. I don't know. I feel like this card's either really bad or could it be busted? I don't know how it could be busted. I'm trying to think about like what is busted in with these cards. Maybe you get frozen in fear. Okay, look, you play ramp, right? You're playing ramp with Winter's Touch, so you get another 0 mana Winter's Touch, and you, because you're ramping, you get to turn 7 on like turn 5, right? Maybe that's not bad. Maybe that's not bad. You just like ramp, turn 7, drop this dude. I don't know, give him Overwhelm. I'll just be honest. Just give him Overwhelm. Now we have Vikrash, the Exuberant, which is a 3 mana elusive attune unit. When I'm summoned, create a Slipstream in the top 6 cards of your deck. So it's a 3 mana 2/1. I mean, look, a 3 mana 2/2 attune elusive is not bad. Like, there's not a lot of 3 mana elusives in Build. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, just the body alone, I'm kind of into it, right? And it generates this Slipstream card in the deck, and Slipstream is a 1 mana burst spell that says draw 2 and grant them fleeting. Whoa, that's kind of nice. That is kind of. Oh, elemental skills are just. Oh, I'm stupid. I was trying to say, but yeah. Slipstream, kind of nice. Draw 2, grant them fleeting. I think that. I don't know. I think Vikrash is super cool. That's like a really powerful effect to, you know, add a 1 mana draw 2 spell, which is really cool. The body is not terrible. It has a tune, so it's like 2 mana. It's a 2 mana 2/2 elusive. I think you're down for that almost all the time. Like 2 health on elusive is like pretty big. I mean, if this card sees a lot of play, I could definitely see them taking it down to a 2/1, and that probably kills the card. But I think with the effect of drawing 2, I think it's really sick. I think that's going to be really powerful in like verbal decks, you know, those sort of like spell slinger combo type stuff. I think that's where that's going to really find a lot of strength. It does. Yeah, I don't know. I think it fits into that archetype pretty well. I think this is a very solid card for Bilgewater. I think it's a very powerful. I think this is good. This is a good card. This is going to be pretty well done. Then we have Formless Blade, which is a 1 mana burst spell for Bilgewater. It looks like it's the whips from the new upcoming champion. So Formless Blade is a deal 2 to a unit. It can't drop below 1 health from the stand. So, you know, it's kind of like Prize Fight, where, you know, you're just leaving things at 1 HP, and then you're setting it up for further pings like Make It Rains or parlays, things like that, you know, or setting them up for overall. It is burst 2 damage. I don't think that we've ever seen a burst damage spell in PvP. I mean, obviously it's in Path of Champions, but to see. Wow, that's really interesting as a concept for them to add. I think 1 mana burst, deal 2 cap. Yeah, I don't know, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I think that is a speed of interaction and a style of interaction that they have never experimented with before. I think limiting the card to leaving units at 1 HP is a very interesting mechanic that they've introduced for the region, and I think that it allows them to kind of print these crazier effects, because I think that dealing 2 damage to a unit at burst speed by itself, I think burst speed anything is just really crazy. So I do think that this card, I'm not sure how much play it will see though, because it does seem like it's a kind of clunky card. It's an expensive slot in the deck for this card, because not only do you need to play the copies of this card, you also need to play cards that synergize with it. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of pings, but no, I think this card's pretty good. I think this card's really good, actually. I think a burst damage spell is just something that we've never seen before, and because of that, it's hard for me to evaluate. Obviously, burst damage is really strong. Prize fight has been really strong historically as well, so the can't drop below 1 damage cap for these style of spells doesn't really seem to be that big of an issue. And actually, you know, obviously the way that you use prize fight is kind of abuse strikes, but deal 2 damage to a unit at burst speed, that's crazy. That's really interesting. I think they're cooking. They are definitely cooking. But all right, now we have Wildfire, which is a 1 mana slow spell in Noxus. Okay, deal 1 damage to their next. Yes! Burn! Deal 1 damage to the enemy nexus, increased by 1 for each of their Wildfire you played. Create a Wildfire deck. Whoa! Are you guys reading this? I know I was in the way, but deal 1 to the enemy nexus, and then that damage is increased by 1 for each other You just play Wildfire Printer. We just play Wild. This is like Go Hard, but for me. You know what I'm saying? Look at this card. Oh my gosh. Burn is saved. Like, okay, all right, let me say one bad thing about this card. It's in Noxus. One of the biggest criticisms that I've had is that I don't love that Noxus is the only burn region. Like, I would love to be able to experiment with more, you know, region combinations instead of just always Noxus and something else, you know what I mean? I would love to get like a 4th burn region in the mix. But, or, you know, just like, could you imagine this in like Shurima? Woo! Like, I know that's like crazy to say, but Wildfire, 1 manage, deal 1 plus X. Whoa, that's so sick. That's so sick, dude. That's so sick. I don't know, I'm just playing Wildfire Printer day 1. Like, I'm really just gonna be slamming that. Dang, that's crazy. Okay, so that's it for today. So it looks like we had 5 cards. We had Deluge, which, I mean, okay, Deluge with Wildfire is pretty sick, right? We use Zap to draw the Wildfire. Zap is in Eternal, but Deluge is a little slow for me. I'm not really sure how good it will be, but maybe we'll see some play. I think this new elemental spell skill thing is very cool. Very excited for it. Wizened Helmsman seems okay. I like him in the ramp concept that I thought about. I don't really see much other use for him, but I do think that like ramp in Bilgewater, I guess, which sounds really funny. But you know, getting these 2 spells back for free, you know, like I said, you only have to ramp twice. You get this on 5, and that's not too bad. And then you get more ramp from this card, right? And then we have Vikrash the Exuberant, which I think was a pretty great card. It creates a Slipstream in the top 6 cards of your deck, which is a draw 2, grant them fleeting. I think this is a really solid elusive card. I think it's going to really fit into so many archetypes, and it's going to see a lot of play. You know, Bilgewater does see a lot of elusive play, so this card, I really do think it's going to be a staple for the region now. All right, and then we have Formless Blade, which is the burst deal 2. Like I said, dealing 2 damage or dealing any amount of damage at burst speed is really interesting, and it's a dimension of play and a speed at which damage has never been dealt before, so it's really interesting to see that. And then we have Wildfire, the best card in the. This is all that matters. This is. Thank you, devs. All right, guys. So that's gonna be it for my review today. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, you can follow me on every single social media platform: YouTube, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Substack. All of it, I'm Wickhelm. Every single place, I'm Wickhelm. All of my links will be in the description. Timestamps will be in the description. Also, shout out to Always Be Gaming. You know what it is. Join the ABG Discord. Come hang out with us. We be playing games all the time. Always. You know what I'm saying. But thanks for tuning in. Check me out later. I guess I'll be back reviewing more cards as they come out. So stay tuned and thank you. Peace.